Welcome to Let's Talk Movie. I am your host, Brandon Aries, with another episode, and this is the spoiler review for Freakier Friday. I'm not going to keep you here for very long because I ain't got much to say about this movie. I'll be real. It's not like Weapons. I really enjoyed Weapons, and I had a lot to say about it. Freakier Friday? It's a very different story, a very different movie. And I just finished recording the spoiler-free review. So now it's like the filter is lifted as to what I want to say. Um, it's a nice treat to the nostalgic fella, to the nostalgic lass. But man, is it really chick flicky. And man, do some of the parts really make you cringe. I found myself a lot of times like shriveling up in my seat or like waiting for the scene to just end because my brain wasn't taking the cringe very well. And there were other times where they were trying to be a little too on the nose for being woke, and then you pick it up and you're like, it didn't really land well. I appreciate that this is what 20 years later and we still have Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis together on screen. And it was nice that they brought back the members of Pink Slip, Chad Michael Murray, Mark Harmon, who played Tess's husband, Mr. Bates. I mean, I think that was so cool because you're showing not just respect, but you're trying to keep continuity and giving that nod to the people who saw the original. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. And I think I had seen something on Twitter that even Wednesday's doing that on season 2 with certain Adams family former people. So I think that's cool. To me, that shows homage, respect, and pays tribute to the fullest extent for what the original paved and what they could pave moving forward. Even though I kind of hope that this doesn't turn into another movie. But hey, you can't really mess with the big mouse. The big mouse will just ha ha, and then hey, guess what? We have a 12 movie franchise. That's just how it is, though. It's a very sad truth. But let's get into Harper and Lily. I didn't really talk about them too much on the spoiler free because there's not really too much to talk about. It's Anna's daughter, aka Lindsay Lohan's character, and then you have Eric, who's Anna's fiance, his daughter Lily. So naturally, they're the two about to be sisters that don't get along. And obviously, they have a big thing going on. They're about to be moving to London. Okay. And Lily's like, yes, we're going back so I can be a fashion designer. Meanwhile, Harper, Anna's daughter, is like, why can't we just stay in LA? Like, I can't surf in London. It's always raining. It's always gloomy. You know, the usual stereotypes between America and the UK. Here we are. But there's that whole riff where Anna's like, well, our family is going to be together in London. So the whole thing is Harper doesn't want that. And Lily wants to go to London. So there's a lot of banter, a lot of fighting. And then when it sets up for the big switch with that whole Gen Z has 97 businesses, fortune psychic teller lady, when that switch happens, it's not just what we maybe had thought between Tess and Anna. No. Tess and Anna switched with Harper and Lily. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting shift because it's not just the two of them again. It's not like they have to deal with things on a new plane. It's like, to me, I think if they did that, that wouldn't make much sense. Like, Anna knows what it's like to be close to being older, and then Tess is kind of just back to how Anna was when they first did the switch, to me that wouldn't have made sense. This makes more sense. But my girlfriend brought up an interesting point that it is kind of like three different generations of people coming together. But at the same time, it's also kind of like four different because of Harper and Lily. Like Lily is technically not related to Harper, Anna, and Tess, but she's still a part of the mix. So I appreciated that. It to me it made it more inclusive to the family element that we're at play here. So that big switch happens. Harper and Lily are like, "All right, this is good. We can use even though this is crazy, like we can use our elders for lack of a better term. We can use for instance Harper saying like my mom's body and my grandma's body and we can sabotage this wedding." And it's like, whoa, really on some parent trap type stuff. And I mean, like I said, coincidentally, Lindsay Lohan's in the movie, except she's kind of playing the other side, which is cool. And I like it that Harper and Lily kind of find out more about, Harper finds more about her mom, as well as how much Eric really loves Anna. She finds that out through Anna. So I thought that was really cool because she always has like this stink or this fear that Eric's just going to take her away and just corrupt. And all that's put to the side. All that is put to rest because she sees how much Eric loves her. Dang, I'm really speaking passion on this. I mean, I paid attention, I guess. But then you see Tess also sees the complexities of feeling, even though she's a therapist. You can see her feeling different parts of understanding with people and how sometimes it's okay to give people space. As she was always the one like, I'm here for you. I can do. No. Sometimes she learns patience. She learns space, which I think is an important element too. Now, in actuality, it is very chick flicky. Think about how I was just explaining all that. It was no surprise to me that Chad Michael Murray was going to be in this. What I didn't expect was that he had an attraction to Tess. I don't think I remembered that element in the first one. I don't remember, but there was something that bugged myself as well as my girlfriend. But we were like, what? When Anna and Eric got married at the end, why was he there? Considering that he was used as a chess piece to try and sabotage the wedding. Saying, oh, Anna wrote a song about you. Turns out wasn't even about him. It was about Harper. And I was like, wow, y'all goofed. You didn't even do your research. You just assumed it was about this man's because he was the one that got away. Oh, brother. Do me a favor. Don't be in the predicting business. But to get away from all that, I think the setup and the montages that they did were fun. It definitely brought some nostalgia. Jamie Lee Curtis truly goes up and beyond a lot of actors, especially for her age. I mean, my girlfriend was saying like, oh my God, they're really like making her say all these things about her skin and like how she's old, wrinkly, decrepit. And I said, to me, owning your age in film is like a secret superpower because it gives you so much access and such a further range than just like, oh, I can play an old person and I sound like this. To me, Jamie Lee Curtis shatters that boundary because you see her in Halloween 2018. You see her in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, Knives Out. And now here in Freakier Friday. every performance she puts on, you can tell how much she invests into the character. Like she's a natural thespian. I great job. Lindsay Lohan. I wanted to talk about this. With Lindsay Lohan, how do we feel about her performance? How do we feel about her being back in the acting scene? Do we feel like it's forever? Do we feel like it's maybe a couple nostalgia hits here and there, kind of like Beetlejuice 2, Happy Gilmore 2, now Freakier Friday? Is there going to be a Parent Trap 2? Is she going to have her twin and then they're going to deal with their daughters? I don't know. Food for thought. I guess if Hollywood or my FBI agent is watching, or if someone that is listening, as we are now on Spotify. I don't think I mentioned that. So this was something I did on the low, and I was trying to trickle it out. But I started with the weapons review last week, and this Freakier Friday spoiler review will also be here. So, not only are we on YouTube, not only are we on TikTok, but we are also on Spotify and soon to be Apple. We're getting there. I think there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, and I didn't even mention it in my spoiler-free review. To me, it wasn't really like a relevant element of the story. It was just convenient, right? So the main component that I didn't really care about because it was just a placeholder for whatever was the whole Ella stuff. I understood why, because it helped push the story for Harper getting to know her mom and what she does, and that she gave up a lot so that she can provide and support Harper. But at the same time, I felt like it was just the convenience for the payoff. That's what it's there for. Because then you had Lindsay Lohan and her band Pink Slip. They were performing, the iconic song from the first one, Take It Away, I think it's called. Or Getaway, something like that. And, that was a nice touch. That's why I said, like, the stage was set for the big payoff. And obviously they did that. They accomplished that. And then everybody learns everything about each other. There's the whole mantra that the 98 business owner, chakra, mind reader, psychic lady from Starbucks that could also work at Starbucks had said, change the hearts are wrong to show the place that you belong. Something like that. Dang, I really paid attention to this movie. This freaking chick flick. But obviously that mantra comes into play. And then the whole big switch. They're back. But my girlfriend made a good point. She was like, oh, I see how convenient they just switched, because the last time they did the switch, they woke up and were switched. Here they're just like, oh, do you feel switched? Are you good, bro? And they're like, yeah, I'm me again. Goofy. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. But Freakier Friday was still fun. It was still okay. I wouldn't see it in theaters if you're thinking about it. I would wait like the 2-ish months it's going to take for it to end up on Disney Plus. I mean, hell, probably after you see this, there will probably announce like, hey, guess what? The Disney Plus package is coming out with Freaky Friday. And then all that for nothing. But wait for this. Wait for this on streaming. Yeah, you don't need to waste money for this. But I'm glad you came back for another episode of Spoiler Talk and Let's Talk Movie. I greatly appreciate you. Again, I'm going to try and keep doing this. Maybe build some other things here and there for the future of The Sanctuary and Let's Talk Movie. Overall, I'm very excited for the work and the projects that I have in the pipeline. I want to keep doing this, man. I love movies. I love talking about them. I love hearing opinions. I love hearing takes on movies. And I love hearing recommendations. So if you're watching this or if you're listening to this, give me some movie recommendations. If you're thinking about a certain scary movie or you're thinking about a certain classical action, whatever, I'm down to watch. And then I'm down to talk about it because this is Let's Talk Movie. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.